I was fired for being gay.
6 words that have sparked a fierce battle, one that could change the lives of LGBTQ2 people across the United States. 3 discrimination cases are awaiting a decision from the U.S. Supreme Court. 2 involve men fired for being gay, while 1 is due to a transgender woman's firing. Lawyers for all 3 argue their civil rights were not protected.
At the federal level, there are no explicit protections that specifically say sexual orientation or gender identity.
In 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the historic Civil Rights Act into law, making it illegal to discriminate based on a number of factors, including race or sex. The question facing the courts now, can sexual orientation be decoupled from sex?
A lot is at stake because what it's essentially arguing is whether people can be all of themselves all of the time in their workplaces.
In the United States, roughly 11 million people identify as LGBTQ2, or roughly 4.5% of the population. 21 states, plus the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and Guam, have legislation that bans discrimination against them. Compare that to Canada, where all 13 provinces and territories protect everyone equally.
In Canada, we have gender identity, gender expression explicit in our Human Rights Act and in our criminal code. It's vitally important for the protections of everybody in our society.
But civil liberties groups fear U.S. rhetoric could find its way north of the border.
Many of the attitudes that exist in the U.S. are crossing over into Canada, and we're seeing a shift in terms of acceptance.
A decision isn't likely until mid-2020, meaning it could play into the upcoming U.S. elections. No matter when it happens, focus will be on a right-of-center justice. Brett Kavanaugh has no judicial record on gay rights and only asked 1 question during hearings, leaving him as a possible swing vote. If the majority of the Supreme Court decides that LGBTQ2 members are not guaranteed workplace protections, millions could become more vulnerable to discrimination.
Homophobia is wrong, plain and simple.
Simply for being who they are and loving who they love. Reggie Cecchini, Global News, Washington.